and thank you to Rachel for coming out for keynote speaker and taking the time to come here and speak to you guys and inspire you guys. So to start off the competition, I would like to present two quotes. This one's by Steve Jobs. It says, "Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use." And everybody is you guys all have different majors. Some people don't go to college, some people go to college. But you guys all have the power to innovate something, build something, and change the world. So, the second quote is by Naveen Jain. This one says, "Each of us has the power to be the change we want to see in the world, making the world a better place." With that, I'd like to call up Rachel Kane to speak about her entrepreneurial endeavors.
But thank you guys so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. Everyone should have a packet of Sprinkle Bites in front of you. All right. Okay, great. Okay. So I'm Rachel Kane. I'm the co-founder of Sprinkle Bites. I live just down the road in Schweinsville. I moved to the area about 15 years ago from New York, originally from Long Island. And I went to Bucknell, and then I fell in love with PA and always, made my way back here. So this is my crazy, can't make this SHIT up story that I'm going to share with you. I might have had a little help from AI wordsmithing this, but it is my story, and that only I can tell. And I'm protecting it just like you all should protect your stories, and that's what's going to make you unique and different, no matter who uses AI to write your copy. Okay, so let's be that. No one can do what you guys do, because no one has your experiences and background. So always remember that and stay true to that. So Nicole is my co-founder. She lives in Chester Springs, so she's local as well. And Nicole and I didn't set out to build a sprinkle empire. We just wanted our kids to eat something healthy without having a tantrum. But looking back, every part of our story prepared us for this moment. Nicole had watched her dad lose everything. Then one day he decided to start a tattoo business, and he had no money, no experience. He's just very gritty, and he went door to door selling tattoo balm out of a van. Nicole slept in that van on the highway on 95, and her dad built that business up to a point where he sold it to Burt's Bees, which is pretty inspiring. That same hustle carried her through on her own path. She actually had an art history degree, and she used that to turn her knowledge into her career, which is actually being an independent art broker. And she supports her family, and she protected her dream. And my story isn't so different. My dad came from Israel with a 13-year-old's education. So he came here on a cargo ship when he was 17 and jumped ship and never went back to Israel. And he built his fortune in the horse racing business. Yes, he was a jockey agent to the most famous jockey agents, like Mike Smith won Triple Crown races. I grew up going to like the Kentucky Derby and all that. But then, just like Nicole's dad, he lost everything. He succumbed to corruption and greed in that industry, and it was taken all away from me. So instead of letting that define me, I did what I wanted to do in life, and I followed my heart as an entrepreneur. I saw the hustle, but I knew I wanted to be smart and support myself, right? So I worked in a kosher butcher. I worked at Sunglass Hut kiosks at the mall. I don't even know what like a mall kiosk looks like these days, but they existed. I caddied on the golf course for cash. And then I became the best female golfer in my county, in Long Island, Nassau County. I earned a Division I golf scholarship to Bucknell. And at Bucknell, I worked at Victoria's Secret in Susquehanna Mall to pay my way through school. And since then, I built an 18-year career actually in management consulting at Accenture. And the last 5 years, I've been at an AI tech startup downtown in Philly on the Drexel campus. And eventually, you know, I jumped in 5 years ago to my biggest fear. I always loved business, and I always knew I wanted to have my own business as my full-time career, not just side hustles, but I was so afraid of the finance and fundraising aspect of it that I never went for it. And I was always sacrificing, you know, my compensation, my time, my dreams for somebody else's dream. And I wanted one day to sacrifice those things for myself so that I could protect myself, my ideas, my family, and my dreams. So Nicole and I bonded over this when we met 4 years ago, and we couldn't stop hearing these nagging whispers in our ears around like, just do it, just start your business, put yourself first for once, right? And that's how we ended up here. So after we were venting about how hard it is with our kids and having these careers, Nicole told me where she's from in the Netherlands, they grew up eating hagelslag, which are sprinkles on toast for breakfast. They eat 30 million pounds of sprinkles, chocolate sprinkles on toast a year in just that one country, okay? And her kids loved it, my kids loved it, and automatically my business brain lit up. I'm always constantly thinking of ideas, and obviously I heard this and I thought, oh my gosh, low cost of entry, super cheap to make sprinkles, huge unsolved problem. Kids being miserable at mealtime or having a tantrum. How do we solve that? Everyone has that problem. No innovation in that sprinkle space in decades. And they have a really long shelf life and they're easy to ship. So I knew like, okay, the economics of it are really going to work here. And we're solving a problem that's really authentic to us that we live and experience every day. Then we looked at the data. And we saw 64% of families wanted high protein snacks. 79% want clean ingredients, and 80% are looking for more convenient snack options. We had an authentic problem, we had a real idea for a solution, and we had the data to back it up. Those are the three foundational elements of building a great business. So, we made Sprinkle Bites. We made sprinkles into protein-packed, all natural, functional sprinkles in resealable, convenient stick packets for anywhere, anytime joy. Our kids loved it and so did we. And now we have 8,000 pounds of chocolate and blueberry protein sprinkles being sold on our website, sprinklebites.com, but also on Amazon, TikTok Shop, different online retailers like bariatricpal.com. And then we're in brick and mortar stores. We're in 5 different stores in New York City. We're launching actually on Thrive Market in 2 weeks, nationwide. And we're launching in 5 other national retailers next spring. So when I started Sprinkle Bites, I didn't know if anyone would care about healthy sprinkles, but I believed in the problem I was solving and the joy behind it. It was fun. It was going to be fun. The journey had to be fun of doing this business with my best friend. And because somewhere, so you don't have to have everything figured out, okay? You just need to get started. Just need to start. I started with a recipe I made by hand in my home kitchen. So protect your spark, nurture it, share it boldly, because somewhere between this first idea you have and your 15th hour in this competition. Something incredible might happen. You might just find your Sprinkle Bites moment, that small, joyful idea that turns into something much, much bigger than yourself. So keep imagining and sprinkle on.
We're gonna open it up to questions now, if there's any else questions.
So, how many attempts did you have before you finally found the correct recipe?
So I watched many, many YouTube videos on how sprinkles are made. And then I looked at the ingredients of the existing ones and I looked at swaps for them. So instead of confectioner's sugar, cane sugar powder, what had that same powder consistency? And then I found a couple of options to try. Then I found, okay, there's no superfoods, like it's processed cocoa, not real true superfood cacao. I'm gonna do mine with cacao superfood powder. What colors do they use? In the dyes, blue one, red one. What can I swap that out? Superfood color powder. So I started researching different powders. And then once I got everything together, probably like 6 ingredients, I ordered them on Amazon, and in my house, I just mixed it by hand to dry, added water, put them in a piping bag, and piped lines on my kitchen table on parchment paper. And then I let it dry overnight, and in the morning I chopped them up and I gave them to my kids. And every time, if they were like, too crunchy, okay, how am I gonna make it softer? Okay, it's too bitter. Okay, it needs less chocolate and more of the tapioca starch. So I just played around with it. Probably the summer of 2024, I did it in May, June, July, August, 4 months. And then I went online and I joined a free Slack group for CPG founders. And I just went through people's chats and questions, and people that made similar products, like a rice thing, or like little crouton dots, or like little things, right? And I'm like, okay, who's commenting? It's like Reddit. Who's commenting on those questions? How are they answering it? What experts are answering? Oh, this woman was a 20-year employee at Cliff Bar, specialized in protein. I'm gonna message her. I cold call her. She ended up helping me take the recipe that I was working on for 4 months and fix it. She ended up doing it in her home kitchen and then telling me like, okay, here's what you're doing wrong. Here's what you need to fix. And here's all the percentages that you can claim correctly on a nutrition label. And then I went from there and got a commercial kitchen license in Phoenixville. There's a commercial kitchen in Franklin Commons in Phoenixville. It's open, anyone can rent it. Like if you guys are interested in food products, like you can rent space and legally have a place to like test things. You have a facility here, but if people aren't on a college campus, you know. And then in October, November, I was doing it in that kitchen with the recipe from the food scientist, and I got the Department of Ag from Pennsylvania to give me a license to sell what I was hand making. And that's when I started selling it online and like popping up in Phoenixville just to get people's feedback. And I did that for like November, December, January, and then February I launched my Shopify site this past February. And then once that happened, I got more and more feedback, networked even more, went out to retailers, like to trade shows where like the Wegmans buyer is, Whole Foods buyer, and I went with my little baggie of handmade, and I was like, would this ever sell at your store? Like, would it ever? And that was my first iteration of the package design, and now what you have is the third iteration. So at the same time I was working on the formula, I was working on my packaging to get it retail ready. So that's what I designed first on Canva and like different websites that I found that have like die line templates. And then it morphed into that based on the feedback I got from the people in the industry veterans. It's just a lot of cold calling, a lot of iteration. And then once it was ready to go, then I decided I can't make it anymore by hand. I need to find a manufacturer that has machines. And then I found a manufacturer in Kansas. They tweaked my recipe a little bit, and they made 8,000 bucks. And now I have it in a warehouse in Phoenix. So, yeah.
You might have just said it, but What was your biggest challenge and how did you overcome
Funding. So I spent my own savings on like getting an LLC and getting the website done and doing all that. I mean, I'm gonna be transparent. Like I put in like $8,000 to $10,000. My co-founder put in that much. You have access to things here that I didn't have access to. You don't have to spend that money. Like you can go online for free, do your LLC, go to someone in legal here to help you. You can definitely build your own website for the first pass. I'm sure one of you, if not all of you, know how to use Shopify. I'm just too old for that. And you could just get up and running for probably like $1,000 and then just literally like start selling your prototype and just sell it to anyone. Like I wasn't gonna go to my friends and family. I actually posted on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook to get complete strangers to pre-order the product. And that's who tasted it for the first time, like strangers. Yeah.
I do have a question. I'm really interested in the marketing aspect of this. What what kinds of marketing were you most successful in? Like that everybody was hearing about Sprinkle Bites, and then like what kind of marketing was probably like not as successful?
So the marketing is it's like a blanket statement. I just feel like people say, your branding, your marketing, your this, and I'm just like, there's so many components to marketing. You really have to be specific. I just think that people generalize it too much and you can get swept into like spending. No joke, I was listening to an interview with a food founder who closed his business and he invested $500,000 in marketing pre-launch. And I was like, what? These are people that are like going to venture capitalists to invest to give them the startup cash before they even have a product, right? But if you have that network, that's what you do. But I think that's the dumbest, it's not smart. So for me, it's test and iterate again, right? Do as much as you can by yourself. Find somebody that has a little bit of the skill sets that you don't. So like, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm really good visionary and I can mock things up, but I don't have like the Adobe or like the Figma like skill set to do it like professionally looking. So I found individuals on Fiverr or Upwork to take my mock-ups and make it reality. So I literally went onto Canva and I did the best I could at designing my logo, my packaging. I did an inspiration board on Pinterest of all the other brands that I liked of the photography that I wanted to copy. And then I just went out and looked for people that were like $200, $500 to like take my creations and make it into the Shopify site, make it into my logo. And then I knew what I wanted the feeling to be though. I knew I wanted Sprinkle Bites to give the feeling of like, I can trust them. I can trust this brand. This makes me smile, like fun. This is not stressful. It's not complicated. It's really simple. And it's innovative. Like, wow, this is unique. Like, that's what I wanted the feeling to be. And it just kept working out.
Now that you've like launched like for a while, like how would you say most people hear about the Sprinkle Bites? Like, is it like, oh, we saw it on social media, we saw like which word of mouth, like?
Honestly, there's some good hacks, right? So everyone kept telling me, be an influencer first and then launch your product. Like, get a following for an Instagram account based on your parenting content or based on your like student life or, hey, I'm a student studying entrepreneurship. I'm gonna start building a following and tell you every day about like my experience and what I learned or what's frustrating. And then you get to like 5,000 followers or 10,000, and then you're like, oh, hey, I have this product. You guys have been following me for 2 years. You're all gonna probably pre-order this product then because you trust me. That's like typical these days. I didn't have that following. I feel like you guys, if you have that, that's the way to do it. I didn't, so I actually went onto a website, no gatekeeping, called socialtradea.com. You can buy people's Instagram accounts. that are up for sale. I didn't know this existed. Some young kid told me about it, and I was like, okay. So I bought a girl's Instagram account that was Mom's Journey. So it was like all parenting, fun content. She had 24,000 followers, and all that you can run reports to see how genuine they are, if they're all in the United States, if there's enough engagement, like they're actually resharing and commenting, these are real people. I did all that for $400. I bought her account, took it over, and that was a year ago, and I'm still at 20,000. So I only lost 4,000. I might keep losing gaining, which is pretty good. And every time I meet someone, they tell me they found me on Instagram. It's really weird. Sorry for the long-winded answers, but is this helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next.
So, I got two questions. Where do you find most sales come from? Like which site? I know you said TikTok Shop, you have your own website. And how many current employees do you have?
It's just me and Nicole, right? And then we have all contractors. So we have like a guy in India who we found on Fiverr who got us onto TikTok Shop. If you have a food and bev product, TikTok Shop has an AI bot that scans the applications to be approved to sell on their shop, and the food and bev criteria is really, really specific and strict. The AI never approves it. It's not a human looking at it. It's an AI. So it's based on how your photos look, based on the words that are in your certification documents. If they don't see something the right way, or if the AI doesn't read the text for some bug, you're out of luck, right? So I actually hired this guy on Fiverr. He got me approved through the shop in one night. So I just got approved 2 weeks ago after spending a year trying to get on.
So I've already seen them all.
Because you purposely
No,
No.
it's just, it popped up because, I mean, you were talking out there and you don't think that you said you didn't think that fitness people would be one of your audiences, but
it ended up.
down on TikTok and I've seen them on TikTok Shop.
Okay, well, that's cool because we've only been on for 2 weeks. But he's been doing a lot of work. So after he got me approved, he's like, all right, you can pay me $100. And I was like, yeah, that's great. And then he's like, and if you want to keep me on, you can pay me, $200 a week, and I'll help you find and DM content creators that will literally make videos. You send them free product, they'll make videos 5 times a day. Think about it, if I get 20 people to post 5 times a day, driving sales, and they get commission, they'll get 40% off every sale for 30 days. All of a sudden the algorithm knows you exist, and then it's gonna start pushing. So you gotta flood it. So that's what I'm working on now with TikTok Shop. Amazon, I, again, found 2 guys. They're in Ukraine. They're so smart and awesome. They ran their own really successful Amazon company, so selling products, and now they consult. So literally I spend $500 a month, and they run my ads, they update my shop, they tell me how much inventory I need to ship out, and Amazon fills. I don't do the shipping. And yeah, so Amazon, I'm selling 50 units every other week, probably, 25 a week, of 5 packs or 10 packs. Those come in 5 stick packets or 10 stick packets. On my website, I'm selling 10-pack boxes, probably 8 to 10 a day. And then on TikTok Shop, we just started. But the Thrive Market order that they're picking up in 2 weeks, 14,000 stick packets in 8-pack boxes. So I can show you the box. And this is also really important. This is why it's important to just get started, because once you start and then you get a little bit of validation, somebody saying to you, not your friends or family, somebody saying to you, that's a good idea, or that would really help me, or some little thing, right? It's like golf, you hit that one good shot and it keeps you in it, and then 5, 10 bad ones, but then you hit another really amazing one, you're okay, I'm gonna stick with it. That's what it is, entrepreneurship. That's what it is. You're gonna strike out 10 times, and then you're gonna have 1 win, and you're gonna be okay, I'm back. I gotta keep going. But this box, and then I'll answer. So I went to grocery stores, and I looked at the boxes that have the protein bars and stuff. And you can see the perforation that it was torn off to display and hold the bars so you can buy individual bars. Or behind on the shelf, you'll notice the full box and you can grab the box, right? If you love those bars. So I designed this on purpose so this can be torn off and sit on shelf in a grocery store, and the height was good enough, but it wasn't too tall or too little to sit on the set. And then I sell these boxes full of 10 on my website. So then Thrive Market loved it, but they wanted an 8-pack. So I reordered same box, but it says 8, and the weight is different. And there's 8 stick packets in a box. So that's why I was like, guys, I need help. I need people to come to my warehouse and help me, because I have those sprinkles from the manufacturer in 50-pound bags on pallets, and then I hand fill the 17 grams into each packet, and then put them into this, and then put this into a master case, and then put that. So it's gonna take me a really long time, and I have to do it in time for the 19th. But yeah, so until I can outsource it, I bought like a weighing machine. Again, you just Google everything and YouTube everything and you figure it out. I found something called a hopper machine. It's a dispenser, it weighs it, and then it dispenses 17 grams at a time into a little cup. And then my husband and I made a 10 PVC pipes vertically attached by one long PVC pipe and a stand, and it sits on the table, and you have a funnel on top of each one. So one person's doing the weighing, and one person's dumping 10 at a time, and the packets fit like right on the bottom of the PVC, and then you can do like 10 a minute. So now I'm trying to like build 3 more of those PVC pipes, 10s, and then get like 2 more hoppers and set up a whole like assembly line and just have like a bunch of people come and just bang it out in like 2 days.
I don't know what was happening. What does it cost to make one, and what do you sell them for?
Such a good question.
So what are your margins?
So you have this idea, you think you have $1 million idea. That's great. But the next step is to do what you just said. Make sure you know how much it's going to take to make one unit. It's called unit economics, right? So for me, how much is every single ingredient needed? So, the 6 or 7 ingredients listed here to make 17 grams, right? So you have the breakdown of the percentages of how much I need to make 17 grams of the sprinkle. So how much is it gonna cost me for 20% of organic erythritol blend? How much is it for that, right? And then I calculate it. And then how much is it to buy 1 packet from my packaging company in China? How much is it gonna cost me to, basically these are all your costs, right? So how much does it cost me if I outsource or pay you guys to come fill it, right? At the packet level. And it ended up costing me 78 cents a packet, all in. And I have it budgeted, like every single thing. And then I sell it for $2.50. Actually $2.99, because I sell a 10-pack box on Shopify for $29.99 for a 10-pack. That's 75% margin.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you sell a 10-pack on Shopify
For
for
$29.99.
20. Wow.
That's, well,
You need to make your margin. You need to calculate as much of your COGS as possible.
Okay.
And then you need to say minimum 70% for the immediate the most direct channel. Because then every channel after that, Amazon takes a cut, TikTok Shop takes a cut, the giant grocery store people use a distributor, and everyone in that, probably 5 more vendors take cuts. And then you're like left with nothing. So I needed to make my margin per unit. It's best to do it at the unit level and then just calculate the gross margin. But unit level, I needed to be 70, more than 70, so that at my most expensive, it is still 40%.
Who takes the highest commission?
Yeah.
If you don't know.
Um,
And Amazon more expensive than
Amazon surprisingly not that much, and everything is economies of scale. So like the more you're selling, the like, yeah. But the distributors, because the distributors, that's why I don't want to go into grocery too fast. And I really want to kill it on TikTok Shop and Amazon and Shopify. Because I'm making between like 60 and 75% margins. And if I can get enough sales on those channels, then I have enough cash in the bank so that when I go into retail, the grocery store is not buying from me. They're buying from a distributor. The distributor buys from me. So the distributor says, I want to buy this for, it costs you 78 cents. I want to buy it from you for $1. And then I'm going to sell it to the giant supermarket for $1.50. And then the giant supermarket's going to sell it to you guys for $2.99. And so everyone wants 40%. Like they want to make, grocery store wants to make 40% margin, distributor wants to make 40% margin. They'll take 30%, but they're all trying to get to 40. So, you know, right now, like Thrive Market, the distributors, I've negotiated, they're buying it for like $1.35 at the best. So yeah, I'm probably like 38 to 42%. But it's like crazy because it's so important. You don't think about those things. Sometimes, like that's what always intimidated me to start my own company, was because I never understood the numbers and I was so afraid that I wasn't good at it that I just was like, I'm not good at it, so I'm not gonna do it. Someone else can deal with the numbers and I'll work for them and I'll just be like a C-level executive for somebody else. I just like wasn't really what I wanted.
Congratulations on those markets.
My question is like, do you have like bigger goals and visions for this business? Are you looking to make it like super big and then sell it? Do you want to add like other products? Like, do you have like a concept or something?
You guys, this is so. I can nerd out on this all day, so I'm sorry if I'm like boring you, but it's so important because if you're gonna go ask people for investment, they want to know that, right? And so you also have to know that answer so you know where you're gonna get investment from. If I wanted to build this into a $1 billion company and sell it like Poppy did, and that's my dream, I'm going straight to VCs right now and I'm raising $5 million. I don't really want to do that. I actually want to sell it for 50 to 100 million in 5 years, and I'm willing to sell up to 20% equity to take on investors and use whatever I get to reinvest into other businesses that I believe in and start building my own like portfolio as an angel investor, and that's my dream. And then I'm 41, so if I can do that by 45, sell it, and by the time I'm 50, I have a nice portfolio, and then I can still be young enough, my kids will go to college, and I can travel. Like that's my dream. I wish I had the guts to do it sooner. I so wish I could have done this in college. I just didn't have any family members or any adults in my life that did it, so I didn't see it being done. So I felt like it was scary, you know? If you see somebody like yourself accomplishing something, doesn't it make you feel like it's more attainable? Like, oh, that person just did that. I just saw that 25-year-old on Shark Tank. Okay, I can do that. I didn't have that. You guys do in this day and age. Plus with social media, like Facebook had just come out. It was banned on my college campus. It came out like junior year of college. So like, I didn't even have visibility into like what everyone was doing. And you know, I feel like this is where it starts. There's two girls from Canada who I met recently. They were in university, I think in Toronto. Similar competition like this, similar school project in entrepreneur class. They came up with like an all natural, like I think it was tampons or like something underwear, something like that. But it's like, you know, better ingredients, cleaner, all natural, plant-based. And they went on the Shark Tank, the Canadian version, the Den, whatever it's called. And They're like multi-million-dollar company now. They just graduated college like 2, 3 years ago. And it was a college project. And it just took off. Like they just believed in it. That's, so much. So, yeah, but the envision, that's my plan. And to get there, yes, you have to go beyond sprinkles. So we're gonna do like different colors and flavors. There's green vanilla matcha, there's lemon, there's like different flavors that I have. There's different ones without sugar alcohol. So it's coconut milk powder, it has like a coconut flavor. It's gonna be like coconut chocolate. And then we're gonna make like the finished products. So we're gonna make fairy bread. So you're gonna have sprinkles, you're gonna have like glittery jelly, and you're gonna have like the kit to make your own fairy toast as like a breakfast item. And we're gonna do stuff like that.
I don't mean to cut you off.
I know.
think we have time for one more question.
Okay.
If anybody has any last minute questions.
Go ahead.
How much would you sell the 20% for?
That's interesting. Well, I'm putting like a $3 million cap on my valuation right now, so what would that be, I guess, 20% of $3 million? Yeah. I tried out for Shark Tank season 17, the one that's airing now, and we were asking for $250,000 for 10%. And we got to the finals, and then they told us to wait until season 18 because we didn't have sales yet. Now we have 30,000 in sales from the last 3 months. So waiting until they start casting, and then we'll get pulled back into it, and I'm hoping we can get on next spring. And
How long did it take to find a manufacturer?
really long time. Well, for me, I'm not patient. It took me like 5, 6 to 9 months, which is typical. Usually it's like a year. Yeah. You might find one in a month, but they're probably not going to be good or like do what you need them to do. I hope that's what you were looking for.
Yeah, that was great. All right.
Okay. Oh yeah, and lastly, if anybody is curious and wants to see my pitch deck for the retail pitch deck or the investor pitch deck, I'm happy to share that and email it out. Yeah.
Thank you again for coming and sharing your story with us. We're going to take a 5-minute break, go out, use the bathroom, grab some food, water, whatever, and then we'll come back in here and we'll start the competition. Or start generating ideas. Yeah. very interesting, and this is basically what you guys are gonna be doing. So, as you guys probably already know, our theme this year is Protecting Together. It's a very broad theme, that's the point of it, but your ideas, you wanna have them loosely connected, with your product, service, or technology. So it can be something that you personally believe in protecting it, it could be protecting other people, it could be anything. Just try to figure out what that loose connection is with the theme. Here are a couple examples that I pulled up for you guys. So Dynamic Aviation, they are a small company, and basically what they do is they have planes that when there's a wildfire, they fly these planes and drop water to help contain them and protect the land. This next one is called Sweet Amalia's Oyster Farm. They're located in South Jersey, and basically they use oysters to help keep the harbor, the Delaware Bay, and also produce healthy oysters. And then this last one, Dr. Muscarella, he actually just came here to speak last week. Basically, he has a company. It's independent. It's just him, and he looks into hospitals and their surgical devices to make sure they're safe and they're not causing any infections in their patients to help keep patients safe. So those are a couple examples, and now it's your turn. So what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to identify a problem, and then you guys are going to define what your solution to that problem is. You're going to figure out who it's for, and you're going to have to validate whether your solution is right or not. You also have to figure out if there's a demand for this product. If there's no demand, you can't really sell it. There needs to be a large amount of people that have this same problem that you can target. And then you need to communicate the ideas through a PowerPoint presentation, and we'll have a panel of judges to give you guys feedback, and we'll have mentors here tomorrow as well to help you develop these ideas. So the agenda for tonight and tomorrow, we did the intro. You guys are going to be pitching ideas, just a 60-second pitch. You guys are going to come up here, tell us what your ideas are, and then you guys are going to get into groups and start working together to identify these problems and create these solutions. You guys are going to be identifying the problem tonight, doing competitive research, problem validation, and solution validation. If you guys really want to get as much done of your PowerPoint presentation and your research and figuring out what your idea is, you want to try to get as much done tonight as possible, because come tomorrow, you guys are going to come in at 8 o'clock. You guys are still going to be working on your idea for a little bit, but we're going to have Mentor Madness, as you can see up there. That's at 9:30. So you guys are going to be meeting with mentors. They're going to help you develop your idea, but you want to be able to present something to them. So you want to have a presentation partly made already. You want to have a prototype to show them. So really try to get as much done tonight as possible, because you may feel rushed tomorrow if you don't. You want to give yourself enough time to adjust and pivot what you need to fix. So make sure you have a prototype, just something to represent your idea, to show the judges, the mentors, so people know what you're talking about. It can be anything from drawing something out on a piece of paper. You can use clay to build something out. You can make things out of paper and tape. It can be anything. Anything just to show and represent what you have in your mind and just to get it out. We're going to have dress rehearsal. So you guys are going to come in before you do your final pitches tomorrow. And we're going to have 4 people. We're going to have 2 groups. 2 people are going to give you guys feedback on your presentation. So how your presentation is laid out, how your oral presentation skills are, and how you can adjust these things. If there's something that needs to be worked on, we'll address it, and you guys will have a little bit of time before your final presentations to fix that. And then we're gonna have the final pitch at 2 o'clock. So, innovation is all about the process. So you guys are gonna identify this problem, you're gonna find a solution, and you're just gonna build it. And then what you need to do from there is you need to measure it. So that's doing all the research, that's talking to people, see if this is something that people want. You're gonna get feedback on that, you're gonna learn, and then you're gonna repeat. So you're gonna have to pivot sometimes. Your first idea isn't always gonna be your best idea. So you're gonna build it, measure it, learn, repeat until you have something really concrete that you can work with. So when we're generating ideas, most ideas that are generated are grounded ideas. These ideas are things that are already out there. They're not very unique. They're pretty safe. We want to be in the blue sky area. So that's something different, something unique, something feasible that you can actually do. And sometimes to get from the grounded ideas to blue sky, sometimes you have to go all the way to spaced out, which is like totally crazy ideas, supernatural, like non-realistic, and then you bring it down from there. Does that make sense? So we want to be in the blue sky area. So right now, you guys are going to come up. You guys are going to give a quick little pitch, just what your ideas are individually, or if you guys already have like a team member, you guys can come up together. We're going to have scholars around the room with that big Post-it, John, if you want to grab that. We're going to be writing down your ideas, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring them outside. You guys are going to sign your name on whatever idea you want to work on. If you want to work with somebody else, and then we'll go from there. So, does anybody want to start? Jaden, do you want to start?
Even
So all
if
you're
you
gonna
don't
do-
have an idea yet, too, you can still come up and say like what you're thinking about what's going on.
Yeah, all you're going to do is come up, tell us what your problem is, what you saw, who it's for, why is it unique.
I just thought about this, so great. I want to create an app for college campuses. I think everyone here goes out on a weekend, and I think sometimes there are people who do not control themselves alcohol-wise, and I think I want to create an app that, you know, if I want to walk home, I want to walk from Rhyme to BBS, and I feel scared, I press this button. I want to have all RAs registered on it. RAs know where you are. And let's say I want to walk back to BBS, and then I press this button, you see my live location, I feel a sense of comfort. It's also reporting. I feel like a lot of colleges are reactive and not proactive. So if I have a harassment claim against myself, I don't know, let's say I saw something I didn't like, I then go on the app, report it, that's someone reach out to me, speak to me. I don't know.
So just to clarify, it's an app that the college can view your location, make sure you're safe.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel, I just thought about it. If you feel uncomfortable and I want someone to know where I am and I feel confident that my RA can see where I am, or I don't know, so I just thought about it.
All right, cool, yeah. Who wants to come up next? You can raise it down. John, just so you know, for each idea, do a whole set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so just like everyone else, I don't have like the most solid idea, but I do have a problem and some sort of solution, I think. So basically, the problem I'm trying to solve is Americans not knowing their rights and how accessible it is to learn about them, right? I was like doing some research. I found a study that over 60% of Americans don't know their civil rights. And so I would like to create a product that has like an interactive like easy way for everyone to like learn about their rights, I guess. And I mean like your rights like as a student in relation to a college, your rights as like a human being in relation to the police, your rights as just a person that's young, your rights as a 10-year-old, your rights as a 30-year-old. And I just think like not a lot of people know how to even learn about their rights, right? You go on Google, you look it up, now you have to read like all these documents and things like that. Like how can we break down these things and so that everyone across all fields and across all ages can learn about something like this? And this is like more than just like protecting like other people's, about protecting yourself. Like knowing your rights is your protection. That's your power. And so like a product that I could sell, and then also like I'm thinking like a website attachment like to it so that we can have those resources there too. So still working out the details, but I think like that's the direction I'm gonna go in, and maybe something like a subscription of sorts, like something that comes in like something, and there's like little things that help you learn about your rights like in an interactive way. You guys, I'm trying to explain it, but it's kind of like,
It's a 60-second.
yeah, sorry, yeah.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, you guys get it, like, yeah.
All right. All right, who wants to go next?
Or my idea, or the problem that I would like to solve is how much money is being spent on groceries and how that kind of relates to food waste, because we spend so much on groceries that we don't always eat. And so I would also like to create an app that kind of helps with not necessarily tracking what's in your kitchen, but helping you use the groceries that you're buying to make new foods, so that you don't have to continuously go out and buy either the same ingredient several times because you forget that it's in your kitchen, or like all these ingredients and not knowing what else to do with them next. I kind of have an idea of how I want it to go, and pretty much it would be just a case of like, you go to the grocery store, you pick up groceries, it tells you how to make it, you press finish, and then it kind of logs what you should have left over. And then it will give you like a suggestion, whether it's throughout the day or throughout the week, saying, hey, why don't you try making these foods? You should have these items left over. Yeah, it's kind of what it is.
Who's next? Zach?
Me and Ben, we work together.
Sean, sorry.
Basically tiles that go into drainage systems, looking at the idea of fertilizer runoff and how that affects communities. I know, I looked at the red tide that happened in Florida, and that's due to runoff. So these tiles are like detects pollution, early detection for pollution. So they measure different levels of pH and chemicals, pH, aridity, etc. And it uploads it to all of my database. You can see cleanliness and runoff levels in certain areas.
So Nick and I are still in the early stages of this, but the two problems, I guess big problem we identified is like data collection globally, not just here. And a solution we kind of wanted to do was either a toolkit of some sort, or something along the lines where we could like show people like how their data has been collected and how to protect yourself in the future. We also think it's a good idea because we can connect various fields around the world to help us with this idea. So, international data protection. Thank you.
Okay, so my idea kind of touches on the idea of like genetics in a sense, because I think the genetics of your body are kind of very important to like protect in a sense, because every genetic in your body is kind of important, and you need to kind of like function as human beings. So gene editing is kind of like a kind of program, or like kind of like a rewriting the code of a body. So if I have a single gene that has kind of like a disease on it, and I want to fix that disease, I can kind of like use gene editing to kind of like fix diseases. And this is kind of used now for like sickle cell anemia, but there's kind of some limitations and like long-term effects of this substance. So like, I kind of want to propose like a business idea and like an innovation to like fix this and like kind of like expand the range of this. So, like if we have wide range gene editing, we can fix kind of like more common diseases like Huntington's disease and kind of like reduce long-term effects kind of like, because currently long-term effects include like cancer, some like kind of like more variable stuff that we can't like account for at the moment. So I think if we kind of like, how do I say this, hire, like train more specialists who are able to like do wide range gene editing, improve the techniques used, and have better tools, we can create more solutions to more prominent diseases in the future.
Who's next? I'm going.
So I thought of an app like an interactive map, much like the Snapchat map or something, but it's more for like jobs in your area. More like mini jobs, like walking your neighbor's dog or mowing the lawn or something. Usually these jobs go unregulated, so it kind of counts towards this underground economy problem. That's the problem I'm trying to fix. Basically, those would just be included and easily accessible, and you could be either posting a job to find someone like a worker, or you could be like a worker going to connect workers and jobs.
You guys wanna start up?
So the problem I want to solve is the rapid increase of deforestation in communities, and I want to help preserve the tree canopy, the local tree canopy. And so my solution is I want to make a product. It's like a solar powered sensor that shows you like the soil moisture and like tells you like what the health of the tree is like, so that you're able to like give it the care it needs before it dies. Because trees take, dead trees, it takes a lot of plant new trees. So by caring for the trees while they're still alive, it helps like, it just helps like maintain the tree canopy. And sorry, that's one more thing. It's unique, I guess, because I might connect that like sensor to an app so that like local communities, like not just governments, but like individuals can monitor their own trees. And yeah, just help preserve trees.
Where you guys wanna go? Yeah.
So my problem is focused on, think about if you ever went to Wismer and if you were either a person eating alone or saw someone else eating alone, and maybe they're scrolling on their phone or watching a video. And I think this is kind of a problem from a neuroscience point of view, because you've got a lot of dopamine going on, like a really big intake, because you're watching a video and you're maybe not paying attention to the food. And I think it would just be really beneficial for people to eat more mindfully, and also to get a sense of where their food is coming from. Like how far detached are we from where our pizza crust is sourced from? So kind of that perspective, and also say it was pizza, for example. Who were the immigrants that brought pizza, the concept of pizza, to America? So just, it wouldn't get you off of the technology, but maybe an app where you can take a picture or use AI to get a bigger sense of what it is you're consuming, be more in touch with your food and where it's sourced from.
Normally don't really have like a problem, but I wanted to purchase something on Reddit and like mental like well-being. The problem I could focus on like how we can use like nature to like preserve our like mental health, and I think that like promotes like better like connections and all that, because like I could try to create like an app or like a app or something to like depict like how we can use like nature to improve our well-being.
Last one? Did anybody else not go yet?
So me and my village was drug use. So I only have to try to fix it out towards lessening drug use. Clothing brand, it was called DNB Exotics. DNB stands for Do Not Buy Exotics. So yeah, I just yeah.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna take a minute.
I was gonna say something really quickly, just like offering just a little bit of advice, like after hearing the pitches.
Yeah.
I would just like try to like think like super, super big. So like I know that we're like in 2025 and like apps are like the like best thing ever, but truly think about how you could solve your problem with maybe like a product like that you could sell to people, or maybe like offering a service, right? Like things don't have to be apps or products, like they could be a service, right? You could be making a program, an organization to give a service to people, to help people like with nature and their connection to nature, or to help people like with something else. Like I would just like try to like think super big, because you know, like if everyone makes an app, like it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's not. So I was just like, but if you want to make an app, please do. I'm just like offering just a little bit of advice. So like think bigger, like maybe your thing could be not an app and something to offer to people in a different way.
All right.
So, can I say something?
Yes.
So quick note, can every group come up to me so we can make sure I got the right idea down and everything? Let's start with you guys.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a couple minutes, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna post all these up on the walls, and then you guys are gonna go around and sign your name on what idea you want to work on. If you're really dead set on working on